Thank you, thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the performance tonight. It's been a pleasure entertaining you and supporting such a great cause. Feel free to mingle, grab a drink, and enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll be around to chat and catch up with you all. Ah, and look who's just arrived. It's an absolute pleasure to see you here. I've heard so much about you. Everyone's been buzzing about the incredible work you've done as a philanthropist. It's not every day we get to meet someone who's made such a significant impact in the community. And I must say, you look even more impressive in person. And so handsome. Your reputation certainly precedes you. You know, it's funny. I didn't realize how tall I am compared to you. Even without heels, I'm still a bit taller than you. It's not often I come across someone who looks up at me quite literally. I hope it's not too overwhelming for you. I can't imagine how it feels to have someone like me towering over you. Oh, darling, you seem a bit flustered. Is this your first time meeting a taller lady? It's alright. I like the height difference. It makes me feel like I can protect you. Like I'm the one watching over you. But don't worry. It's not something I'll let get in the way of how we're going to get to know each other. If anything, it just makes me more intrigued by you. Anywho, I hope you've enjoyed the evening so far. We've had quite a few exciting performances and speeches, but I'm sure you're no stranger to such events. If there's anything I can do to make your night more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'd be more than happy to assist. It's always refreshing to see such distinguished guests supporting important causes. I'm sure your presence here tonight will inspire many others to contribute and get involved. Oh, and if you'd like, I'd be delighted to give you a personal tour of the den and show you more about what we're doing here. It's always a pleasure to share our space with someone who appreciates the value of community and support. Don't they know Mama is busy? Oh, apologies. That was my idiotic son calling. He's probably choking on a prawn cocktail. Don't mind it. The other one will deal with him. Enough about them. You know, the den has always been more than just a lounge. It's a place where people can come together, unwind, and find a sense of belonging. That's why I'm so passionate about events like this. Bringing people together for a good cause is what makes it all worthwhile. But I have to admit, you being here adds a certain gravity to the evening. It's not every day we host someone as glamorous and as handsome as you. Though, I'm sure you hear that all the time. Still, I have to ask, what drives someone like you? With all your success and fame, it's clear you don't have to be here. Yet, you choose to spend your time giving back. It's admirable. In fact, I'd say it's rare. Me? Oh, I just do what I can. My performance tonight was nothing compared to what people like you contribute. But I like to think that music, art, all of it plays a part in bringing people together. Maybe even healing them. You must have your share of challenges, being all the smiles and success. There's always more, isn't there? A person doesn't achieve what you have without a story to tell. Forgive me. I didn't mean to get so personal. It's just, you intrigue me. Let's walk, shall we? The crowd is starting to thin, and I'd like to show you a quieter part of the lounge. It'll give us a chance to talk without all the noise. You see, this place has a way of drawing people in. People from all walks of life. Some looking for solace, others for entertainment. Maybe even excitement. But everyone leaves with something more than they came with. And I'm not just talking about the drinks or the music. There's something about the energy here, wouldn't you agree? It's like a calm in the middle of a storm. For people like us, who are always in the thick of things, it's nice to have a space where you can just be yourself. And here we are. Much quieter, don't you think? I find this corner of the den to be my personal retreat when things get a little too hectic out there. Perfect for conversations like this, with a handsome guy like you. You're quite composed, aren't you? Always so calm, so collected. Yet, I wonder, what does someone like you really think when the world isn't watching? What thoughts linger behind that perfect exterior? Oh, you don't have to answer that now. I know how it is. Keeping certain parts of yourself hidden. After all, we all wear masks, don't we? Some more literal than others. There's a lot more to you than meets the eye. I can tell. And maybe, just maybe, you and I aren't so different after all. You know, it's funny. For a city that's already chaotic, things have been more dangerous lately. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, I'm sure you've heard. Those explosions? Quite the spectacle, weren't they? Buildings reduced to rubble, entire blocks shut down. It's been all over the news. People scrambling for answers, the police at a loss. The kind of thing that keeps a man like you busy, no doubt. And the whispers? They say it's the work of some ruthless mastermind. Someone pulling strings behind the scenes, causing mayhem just for the fun of it. I wonder, though, what kind of person would go to such lengths to create such a mess? But I digress. You see, I've had a bit of a run-in with an old acquaintance of mine. Tupert Rorn. You've probably heard his name mentioned around certain circles. Crime boss, power hungry. Thinks he runs the show around here. We've been bumping heads recently, and, well, let's just say those explosions might not be as random as people think. The authorities, they're scrambling. They're looking for answers in all the wrong places. But I have a feeling someone like you, with your connections and, how shall I put it, your keen sense of observation, might already have your suspicions. After all, you don't get to where you are without being able to see through the smoke and mirrors, right? I'm curious, though. Someone's been poking around, asking questions. A bit too close to certain delicate matters. Maybe they're trying to play the hero. Maybe they're just bored. Either way, they're getting dangerously close to things that are best left undisturbed. I wonder, do you ever get curious too? About what goes on behind the scenes? About the people who pull the strings in the city? Not everything is as it seems, you know. And sometimes, the people who appear to be helping, well, let's just say their motives aren't always so pure. You're wondering why I'm telling you all this? That's a fair question. After all, most people wouldn't just casually discuss such delicate matters at a public event. But you're not most people, are you? I've been watching you for a while now. Your name comes up in interesting circles. Philanthropist, celebrity, orphan, all around golden boy in the public eye. But I know there's more to you than that polished image you present. And if there's one thing I've learned in my line of work, it's that everyone has their secrets. Even the ones who shine the brightest. Am I wrong? See, I'm telling you this because I think you're a little more than just another guest at my lounge. You're not here just to smile for the cameras or write a check for the police fundraiser, are you? I get the sense that someone like you is used to getting involved when things go wrong. Maybe you've even had your hands in a few situations like this before. Quietly, of course. And let's be honest, why wouldn't you be curious about what's really happening in the city? Especially when the person telling you might just be holding all the cards. But don't worry, I'm not looking to expose anyone's secrets. Quite the opposite, actually. I'm offering you a partnership of sorts. I could use someone like you. Someone with influence. Someone who knows how to play both sides of the game. And in return, well, let's just say I can make sure some certain unpleasant situations don't come knocking at your door. Or, of course, you could choose to stay out of it. Pretend this conversation never happened. Enjoy the rest of your evening and go back to your perfect life. But something tells me you're not the kind of man who can walk away when something interesting falls into his lap. So, what do you think? Curious enough to see where this goes? Ah, so you're declining my offer. That's disappointing. But I get it. A man like you, always doing the right thing. Always playing the part of the hero. Maybe getting involved in my world seems too dangerous, too messy. But let's not pretend that's the real reason. You've always been good at keeping up appearances. A man with everything. A public image that's spotless. A life that seems perfect. But when the doors close, when the lights go out, what is it you really want? You can't hide it from me. I see it in the way you carry yourself. That subtle loneliness in your eyes. You've spent so much time being strong, being admired. But deep down, you crave something different, don't you? You want someone to take control, to let you breathe, to give you that comfort, that release you've always secretly wished for. And here I am, offering you exactly that. A chance to let go. To stop being the perfect man everyone expects you to be. And just be mine. Imagine it. No more pretending. No more hiding. You could be by my side. Not as my partner in crime, but something else. Something more personal. Something I know you've always longed for. You've been strong for so long, haven't you? Always in control. Always carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. But deep down, I know there's a part of you that just wants to let someone else take the lead. To be cared for, cherished. And yes, even loved. In a way that only someone like me can give you. You don't have to keep pretending, darling. Not with me. You could be mine completely. You wouldn't have to worry about being strong all the time. You could be vulnerable, submissive, loved. I know it's what you've been waiting for. What you've been too afraid to admit to yourself. But with me, you wouldn't have to hide it anymore. I have to admit, I've always been drawn to people who are a little more, let's say, submissive than the average person. There's something incredibly charming about someone who's willing to let go of control, who can be guided, and cared for in a way that's intimate. And I can't help but notice how you seem to react when I talk about this. It's almost as if there's a part of you that craves this, that wants to be guided, to be cared for by someone who's a bit older, a bit more commanding. I can see it in the way you respond to me, the way you twitch and look away. It's like you're yearning to be that good boy who's taken care of by a taller, more assertive woman. You've got this side to you that wants to surrender control, to let someone else take the reins. And honestly, I find that incredibly appealing. Imagine what it would be like to be under my guidance, to have me show you just how good it can feel to let go and let someone else lead. To be my good boy, to follow my instructions, and feel the thrill of being cared for by someone who knows what they're doing. I can give you that experience. I can show you what it means to be nurtured and guided in a way that's both loving and empowering. So, if you're ready to embrace that side of yourself, if you're ready to be my good boy and let me take care of you, then I'm here for it. It's all up to you, though. Are you ready to explore this with me? To see just how fulfilling it can be to let someone like me take the lead? I could make sure you're taken care of, that every need of yours is met. It's a role I'd enjoy, and I think you'd find it fulfilling. Why you, out of all people? You want to know why I want you? Why I chose you out of anyone else in the room? You know, that's exactly what I expected you to ask. I have plenty of people who bend to my will. Plenty of men who'd be willing to do whatever I ask, no questions. But none of them are you. I fell in love with you the first time I saw you. You held a charity event for orphans, surrounded by people, smiling, shaking hands, being the charming guy everyone adores. You had this light around you, like everything about you was untouchable, pure. And I I knew someone like me could never be a part of that world. Genuinely. I stayed in the shadows that night, just watching. I wanted to approach you, to introduce myself, but I couldn't. I knew if I got too close, if I let myself fall for you, I'd ruin your life. People like me don't belong with people like you. I told myself to forget about you, to let you live your life without getting involved in the mess that is mine. But every time I saw you, every time your name came up in a conversation or I heard about another one of your charity events, I couldn't shake the feeling. No matter how much I tried, you stayed in my head. You were everything I couldn't have. And then you showed up here, at the den. It felt like fate was giving me another chance. I thought I could finally pursue you. But even then, I hesitated. I didn't want to drag you into my world. Didn't want to destroy the good you have in your life. But I couldn't stay away. I'm not good at love. Not like you deserve. I've spent my life manipulating people, keeping them at arm's length. But you're different. You make me want something more, something real. So that's why I want you. I can't stop thinking about you. I can't stop wanting you, even though I know I'm no good for you. You're different. You've got that perfect life, the fame, the admiration. Yet, there's this loneliness, this quiet vulnerability underneath it all. Most people don't even see it. They see the handsome, successful man who has everything. But I see past all of that. I see you. The real you. And that's why I want you. Because you're more than just some puppet or plaything. You're someone who's lived in both worlds, strong and capable on the outside, but longing for something deeper, something real on the inside. You hide it so well, even from yourself sometimes. But I know what it's like to carry that burden of always being strong, always keeping everything in check. It's exhausting, isn't it? I don't want you because of the life you lead or the public image you've built. I want you because I see the parts of you no one else does. The parts that you keep locked away. The parts that want to let go, to feel cared for, to belong to someone who understands. And with me, you wouldn't have to keep up the act. You could be vulnerable. You could be yourself. You wouldn't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders anymore. You'd have me to lean on, to guide you, to care for you. And as much as you try to resist it, I know deep down that's exactly what you've been looking for. A place where you can finally let go. Where you can be mine completely. I see you, and I know exactly what you need, even if you don't fully realize it yet. And I want to give that to you. All you have to do is let me. Forget what I said earlier about using your influence. That was me falling back into my old habits. I'm used to making deals, cutting bargains, manipulating situations to my advantage. It's how I've survived in this world. But with you, I don't want to do that anymore. Everything's always been about strategy, leverage, power. It's just how my mind works. So when I said I could use someone like you, it wasn't entirely fair. I didn't mean to reduce you to another piece on the chessboard. You're more than that. I'm not here to make another business deal. Not with you. Not this time. I'm used to controlling things, keeping everything within my grasp. But with you, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want to pull you into some game. What I really want is something real. It's hard for me to admit, but the truth is, I've never had this kind of connection with anyone before. I've always kept everyone at arm's length. But with you, there's something different. Something that makes me want to take off that armor. I don't want to just use you or control you. I want to be with you. For real. No games, no deals. It's terrifying for me to even say that. I'm not used to feeling this way. But if you're willing to take that chance with me, I promise I'll try to be the person you need me to be. Not the crime boss. Not the bear. Just in. I suppose the crime boss part slipped out, didn't it? Not exactly the best thing to say at a police fundraiser, is it? Look, I'm not going to insult your intelligence. You're smart enough to have pieced together that I'm not just some lounge singer running a cozy little spot for good-hearted folks. The bear isn't just a stage name. It's who I am. But I didn't mean for you to find out like this. Not tonight. Yes, I'm a crime boss. I run things behind the scenes, and I'm damn good at it. But that doesn't change what I said earlier. What I feel for you, that's real. This connection between us, it's not just part of some plan. I didn't bring you here to trap you or use you. I want you to know that. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of to survive in this world. But with you, I don't want to lie. I don't want to manipulate. I just want to be honest. Even if that scares me. I've never wanted to be close to someone like this before. And I'm afraid because I don't know how to be anything other than what I've been for so long. But I'm willing to try. If you'll give me the chance. If you can't look past what I am, I understand. But if you still want to take that step with me, I promise I'll do everything I can to make this work for us. But if you refuse, if you walk away from this now, well, let's just say life could get a lot more difficult for you. I know a lot about you, more than you probably realize. I can make sure your life becomes complicated. Wait, no. Ugh, damn it. I'm doing it again. Threats, control. That's not what I want. That's not what this is supposed to be. I'm sorry. It's just, this is what I'm used to. In my world, that's how things are done. You control, You manipulate. You make sure you have the upper hand. But I don't want to treat you like that. I didn't mean it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm scared. Scared of what this could mean. Scared that you'll walk away. But I don't want to force you into anything. If you're not with me because you truly want to be, then it means nothing. I'm sorry for threatening you. It's hard to let go of old habits when your entire life has been about survival. If you don't want this, if you don't want me, I'll try to not make your life harder. I swear. But after telling you all this, I might not even take no for an answer. Oh, darling, I know who you are. I know about your double life. The hero you become when you're not in the spotlight as your real... The hero you've become when you're not in the spotlight as your persona. I've heard the whispers, seen the news. I know you're here to bring me down. I've watched you from afar. I've seen how you operate. You're good at what you do, and you're here to do a job. To stop me. To expose me. And yet, even knowing that, even knowing you're here to take me down, I still want you. It might sound crazy given everything, but I see you. Really see you. Not just the hero. Not just the guy who is saving the city. I see the person who struggles, who fights, who hides behind a mask. I understand why you're here, and I can't ask you to give up everything you've worked for. I can't ask you to ignore your duty, but I also can't ignore what I feel for you. If you're here to stop me, then I understand. But if you can't let go of what we have here, if there's any part of you that still wants to be with me, despite everything, I know it's a lot to ask, and maybe it's unrealistic. Maybe I'm a fool for even suggesting it. But I can't change how I feel. I can't just ignore the connection we have, even if it's dangerous. So, if you're willing to see past the hero and the crime boss, if you can look beyond the roles we play, then I want to be with you. Even if it means navigating this complicated, risky world we're both a part of. You... Do you really mean it? You're willing to give this a chance? I can't tell you how much that means to me. If... If we're going to make this work, if we're going to be together, then we can't stay here anymore. This place, this city, will always be filled with shadows and dangers. We need to start fresh, somewhere new. I know a place. It's not too far from here, actually, but it's secluded, quiet. We can disappear from the chaos of the city, leave behind the roles we play, and start anew. Imagine it. A life where we don't have to constantly look over our shoulders. Where we can be ourselves without the weight of our pasts dragging us down. It won't be easy. And it won't be perfect. But it will be ours. And it will be a chance for us to build something new, real, something genuine. If you're ready to leave behind the life you know, the hero, the philanthropist, everything, and take a leap into the unknown with me, I promise we'll make it worth it. So, what do you say? Are you ready to walk away from it all and start a new chapter with me? We can leave this place tonight, start fresh, build our own future, away from all the chaos and expectations. It's a big step, but I believe in us. I believe that we can make it work if we're together. Take my hand, darling. Let's go.